McGraw in the Morning continues on the Big 550 KTRS.
8:55, Charles D'Angelo is our weight loss coach, and we talk to him once a month. Good morning, Charles D'Angelo. Actually, let's turn your microphone on. There you go. You got an email. You've been coming on the show now for a good almost 3 years, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And we talk about how you have inspired hundreds of people, including me, to lose weight and sort of change their lives. And so we have become friends. You got a letter that you showed me recently from a woman.
To you. Yes.
From a woman.
One of your listeners.
Who was listening to this show.
Her husband was listening to the show.
Tell us the story.
Yes, her husband, Janice Skaggs, was listening to the show one day that we were here talking about the book Think and Grow Thin, which, of course, is out now at Barnes & Noble, online, and Amazon. And folks have been using it for quite some time to really transform their lives. Some people have lost 50, 60, 100, 200 pounds.
Right.
It just so happened Janice was at the doctor's office that morning, and her doctor gave her the very dramatic diagnosis that she had endometrial cancer. Not only that, but she weighed 356 pounds. And the doctor shared with her, she reported in this email she sent us, that he thought that her obesity had contributed to her cancer.
Right.
And she, of course, as anyone would be, if you've been to the doctor before and you've gotten a diagnosis like that, sometimes people tend to accept the diagnosis as a life sentence.
Right.
And she was scared, so she got in her car and starts driving home to call her husband. She calls her husband. It just so happened her husband was listening to the Big 550 KTRS, and I was on here with you, and we were talking about the book, and he recommended she go get the book. Now, she had every diet book out there, right? I mean, who doesn't have all the diet books and all the equipment at home? But something about the story that we were talking about that day struck her husband, and he said, this sounds like something different. It's all about the mindset, changing your psychology. He really got what I was talking about and got the idea of the three-legged stool, healthy eating, exercise, and the right mindset, holding it all together. So she went out to Barnes & Noble, bought the book. Fast forward 7 months, and she's down 160 pounds. She's never met me. She's followed the plan specifically outlined in the book. There's a plan in there to do exactly what she did. Her doctor's been able to do all sorts of things for her. He was able to give her a complete hysterectomy. From what I understand, the cancer is completely eliminated. It did not metastasize to any other part of her body, fortunately for her. And she's just about 20 pounds away from her goal, all because of the appearance that you and I made on this show, sharing the story of someone that was.
I couldn't do that. I could not. I mean, that is
amazing. You could. Yes, you could.
That is amazing to me that she's never met you. But it's a testament to one, your book.
Well, I appreciate it.
It's a testament to your program.
Well, it's a testament to God that God puts me on in the unique situations to be able to present the stories that I share with people. But more importantly, you've got to say to yourself, what's it going to take for me to change? I mean, you're sitting there in your car and you're listening to this and you're saying, I've been 100 pounds overweight, or maybe I'm just 50 pounds overweight. And I never feel that I have the motivation. People always talk about motivation as something they have to go get. We all have it. It's just when you stack things up enough that you make that connection. You say, not another day, not another minute, not another hour. I'm not doing this anymore. It's like when you're in a bad relationship and you've been in a bad relationship for far too long. Finally, something happens, something clicks, and you say, I'm done. It's over. No more. That has to happen for a person, and you can make that happen for yourself. If you fast forward yourself into the future, looking at how your habits are going to impact you. What happened for Janice was her doctor said, look, you're 360 pounds.
Right.
You're not going to be able to have children. Much of this is probably due because of your habits, and you can change it and totally reverse your life. What I try to do and what my book does, Think and Grow Thin, is get people to that point before they get that diagnosis, before the doctor says, look, you're going to have to be put on insulin.
Right.
Look, you're going to have to go on high blood pressure medication. To know that there's a very simple, profoundly simple way, not only to prevent yourself from getting there, but if you're already there, God gives you the chance to eliminate all that stuff if you'll make the decision to do what you can the best way you can.
It's unbelievable. That is an unbelievable story.
Well, it's a testament to the show.
Well,
I mean, to think that how many people are listening and driving right now that are reached by this story and touched.
It's nice to see, nice to see us do something nice. We are out of time. Charles D'Angelo, the book is bookstores everywhere?
Yeah, Think and Grow Thin. It's endorsed by, of course, President Bill Clinton. It's endorsed by Tony Robbins, Richard Simmons, and the website's charlesdangelo.com, and you can call the office if you need my personal coaching at 314-495-3228. No matter where you are, you can always change if you'll find the good reason to do so.
And I've been working with you for 3 years now.
3 years.
3 years. Unbelievable. Charles, have a good week. Thanks.
You too.
Great story. Stay right there. We'll talk arch tax with St. Louis Post-Dispatch reporter David Hunn. That's straight ahead. The Big 550 KTRS St.